Hi, it's Lynn Oz, and I've got Ronnie McMullen with GetTheTea.com. And he and I were talking, and we're talking about this presidential election and how we really believe Hillary Clinton is going to, unfortunately, be the one to win. In our discussion, we were talking about healthcare, and he was sharing some pretty disturbing information about our healthcare industry if Hillary Clinton is indeed elected. Ronnie, take it away. Share with my listeners what you were telling me, please.
Well, again, this is kind of an intuition thing. This is not a fortified fact. There is a fact that Monsanto gives to the Clinton Foundation. That is fact. Millions and millions and millions of dollars. It is a fact that she's working with Uranium One in Russia. Um, so those are two providers that give her money so that she can become president. And you have to ask yourself, why would they want her to be president unless favors are involved? So I believe this, and this is just what I really believe. First of all, she should have been indicted. She should be, by this time going to prison. But we had an FBI director that was corrupted, and so he let her off the hook and gave her a slap on the wrist with "You're careless." And by the way, she was very, very upset and angry that she was called careless. That was just way against the rules.
Oh my goodness,
So
that's
he
just
slapped her.
awful. Hillary Clinton
Oh yeah,
careless. Who would ever know?
she's careless. I guess she thought she was careful, but
Well, we can
so
only
I thought she was kind of
imagine.
careless. We can only imagine. So then she goes to the Attorney General, Loretta Lynch, and she says, let's drop the case. And now all of a sudden it's Hillary and it's Trump all the way. And, here we go. And who's the best who's the best candidate? And we're seeing the same thing that we saw with Barack Obama. A little different, but kind of the same. And I am not a racist at all. At all. I believe that whoever is president should be about the people. Hillary is not about the people. She's about her pocketbook. Barack Obama was elected and had many, many black people vote for him because he was the first black president. I do understand, but on the same token, it should be about what you do for your people and what kind of, what I call a king, what the president should be doing, taking care of his people. Barack was never about that. Now we're going to have Hillary, and she is going to be elected by many women because they want a woman president. This is ludicrous. This is absolutely ludicrous. I don't care if it's a woman, if it's a male, if it's black, if he's Asian, if he's black, if he's I don't care. Alien maybe. It doesn't matter. Is the president about the people? Will the president hold the own? And
Exactly. It should always be about, you know, is the president about the people? It should never matter what color they are or,
no,
whether they're male or
no.
female. That's ridiculous. But unfortunately, that's what
It's
happens, isn't
it's
it?
totally unfortunate. That's like, that would be like white people. If we had a black candidate and a white candidate, okay, white people, it's because he's white. That's ludicrous. That is just ludicrous. It's racist. Of course, we have a racist president right now. So, I don't know if I think she's racist too, but she's going to show her colors once she gets in. Here's the thing that I'm thinking, Lynn. I'm thinking she's not going to be elected. Okay. Yes, there are going to be people that vote for her, obviously, but she's not going to get elected. But she will probably win by electoral votes. She will win because it is corruption at the highest of levels. And Trump is not going to win. It's a circus. And, unfortunately,
Wait. You mean kind of like what they did with Barack Obama with all the cheating and the scandals that were
yes,
going on around
yes.
his winning the election?
Yeah, the last time he did not win, Mitt Romney won. And not that Mitt Romney would be a better candidate, but, it's kind of like, six and a half dozen to another. But Mitt Romney did win. And so, and you could see his face. He knew he won. And it was kind of like, sit down and shut up because we want Barack Obama. It's going to be the same with Hillary Clinton. I feel it in my bones. Now, I hope My intuition has, gone to Taco Bell or something. I hope this is not true, but I see it happening because if she was indicted, and I know the Congress is up to, they're trying to get Hillary on, perjury, and that would be great. She lied and lied and lied and lied. But, unfortunately, most of our Congress is just as corrupt as the FBI director and the presidents and, the vice presidents. I mean, I've never seen, I don't know, Lynn, maybe you have a different opinion, but I've never seen the corruption at such high levels to where it's almost sickening and makes me flu-like to watch the Republican Party or the Democrats.
Well, yeah, it's all the same. It's basically, we have the face for the system. And it's sickening to me that Americans, for one, wanted Barack Obama, and that Hillary is even able to run. I'm dumbfounded at who the Americans seem to be looking to for leadership. And like you said, then again, she probably won't win the votes, but yet she'll still win, so to speak, because there will be corruption in the votes.
Yes, absolutely. That is my opinion. And if she would have been indicted, I would have had a different thought process. But no. And then Bernie Sanders coming along and endorsing her. I mean, there's just so many sick things that we could sit here and talk about that you just go, oh my God. But here's the question, okay, obviously, is we the people. Here's a question that we need to be asking ourselves. If she becomes president, first of all, can we catch a flight out? No. But if she becomes president,
for sure,
what's that going to mean for our healthcare? And healthcare right now is bankrupt. Healthcare right now, we have doctors that are quitting. We have, I know just locally a doctor that's quitting because the paperwork, they basically say, this is what we'll pay. There's mergers getting ready to go on. I mean, it is a circus. It is a cluster, you know what. And I've just never seen this before. It's absolutely crazy. So the question we need to ask is, what does this mean for us in healthcare? Because obviously somebody is putting planes in the air and spraying chemicals all over us, and nobody wants to talk about that. And we're the only country that fluoridates our water, and so our water is tainted. Okay, and not just with fluoride. I mean, that's terrible. People go, oh, it's in my toothpaste, so it's got to be pretty good. It's like, no, you've been duped. On top of that, then you have chlorine, chloramine. All of these chemicals are in your water. It seems to me, I could be wrong, if God wanted chemicals in the water, he would have done it the first place. So we're doing it supposedly to clean the water, and it's not clean. This is not even counting a lot of the waterways that are toxic because of the leaching of the ground and the chemicals from Monsanto, the Roundup, that is leached into the water. So to me, water should be top priority. And unfortunately, it's not top priority. You don't hear anybody talking about water. I mean, very rarely, at least in the big leagues. So we have, and water is a part of our health. Food is a part of our health. I just found an article not too long ago, and it said GMO, and basically that everything is GMO. Everything. They just hide it. So their corruption is actually out in the front row, and they're praising the corruption.
Well, I have to break in just to say something about water. I never really thought about it much till I moved out in the country, and now I have well water. And in my particular area, there's a lot of iron, so the well water I have really stinks. I mean, it's very stinky. It smells very sulfury. And here's the thought. I don't have the fluoride and the chlorine and all this stuff in my water. I'm sure there's runoff in my water because it's well water from the farms that are around of poisons. But my water, even though it stinks, it's probably way cleaner than the water that people who live in the city are consuming or using or bathing in. So what I think is everybody's water should stink, and then they would be more concerned about it because, I think at the city, I just got one of those water dispensers that you pay for, and they bring the big jugs.
Yeah.
And I use that for everything, for my coffee, for drinking, for cooking. So we go through it pretty fast. But really, when I run out of it, when I was running out of the bottles and stuff like that, it really makes you think about water and, oh gosh, what am I going to do? I'm out of water. Because I certainly don't want to drink the stinky water that comes out of my faucet. And so I think people should think more about what they're consuming and what they're putting in their body. Sure, your water may smell okay, or you may be bathing in chlorinated water. Oh, it's clean because it's got chlorine in it. No, it's not. It's loaded with chemicals and all sorts of bad stuff.
Well, here's something too that people don't realize. I studied water for quite some time. Water, when you get in the shower or the bathtub and your skin hits the water, 60% of you is being absorbed. The water is absorbing. 60% of that water is absorbing into your body. So if the water has chemicals in it, it's going right into your body. Okay? Chlorine, chloramine, fluoride, whatever is arsenic. There's arsenic in some of the waters. Kingman, Arizona has arsenic in their water. There's many places. So we're getting all these chemicals that are going into the water. So you get a shower or you get a bath and you get to have this enter your body. So this is something that's not talked about at major levels. It's been a known fact that the pharmaceutical companies have been trying to take over the supplement companies for quite some time. And there's meetings about every 2 years that they try to once again take it over to where they want it to be where a doctor has to prescribe you a vitamin C. Now, with that being said, that's a scary thing. With that being said, I want you to think about this. Many of us, have certain things that we have to take from the doctor, and that's fine. I'm not a doctor. I'm not trying to guide you away, whatever. But unfortunately, corruption has hit the hospitals and the doctor's offices hugely. The ones that are not corrupt, that are not on the pharmaceutical train, and they still might use pharmaceuticals, but they just don't back the pharmaceutical. Those doctors are being pushed out of the system because they want yes men or yes girls to say yes, whatever, when the pharmaceutical salesman comes and says, this is what we want you to push, the doctor says, okay. And this is why when you go to the doctor sometimes and you have XYZ disease or you have a flu, a sickness, whatever, they will give you, here, take this and try it and see if it works for you. And if it does, I'll prescribe it for you. So you say, wow, that's nice. I got free stuff. Yeah, that would probably cost you, $60, but I'm giving it to you for free. See if it makes you feel better. And sometimes it makes you feel better. And you go, wow, this is good. I need a prescription. We're the only country in the world that basically advertises and you're just to ask your doctor for some kind of drug. Doctor, I'm feeling, I'm not very sexual lately, so can you give me something for that? I'm not feeling good about myself. Can you give me something for that? I'm feeling depressed. Can you give me something for that? And there's all these things, and we go and the doctor says, sure, no problem. What would you like? Well, I saw this commercial, and it's Zika Booga, and I really want some of that Zika Booga. Oh, okay. Well, let's write a prescription for Zika Booga. And how much do you want? Well, maybe 6 months supply. No problem. And this is what's going on in America, the only country in the world doing this. That is scary.
Yes, it really is. And to think that Hillary Clinton could very well be our next president and what she is going to do to this nation, especially with the healthcare. And you had shared some things with me about some concerns you had about her imposing laws and so forth on the natural healthcare industry and supplements and things like that.
I think she's going to write laws that basically move everything to a prescription. And none of the doctors are trained. I shouldn't say that. Few doctors are trained in nutrition. Most of them are not trained emotionally at all. They never say, somebody goes in and says, oh man, I have a stomach ache. It's really hurting me bad. You'll never have a doctor say, what's going on in your life? Well, I got a divorce. My dad just died. And my dog, a friend just kicked my dog. And so I'm feeling, I got a stomach ache. Well, hello, 2 + 2 does make 4, but doctors won't see the 2 + 2. So very few doctors will ask about your emotional state, and emotions affect the health very, very big. Now, if you look at somebody like like Hillary Clinton, she reminds me of a Rottweiler. No, that's not fair. Rottweilers are better dogs. She reminds me. She
You,
reminds me
uh,
of a cobra snake. Now I'm insulting the cobra snake. She just reminds me of a bad monster. There we go. She's
yeah, watch out. You don't want to insult
no,
the
I don't. I
animals, you
love the
know?
animals. So, but she's a scary thing. We'll call her a thing. She's a thing. She's a scary thing, and I believe she's going to start passing laws. I could be totally wrong, but I've just seen past, and I've seen what they're trying to do in the past, and so it makes me think. And by the way, she worked with Barack Obama with some executive orders that are very scary too. You need to do your homework on that. She was there for some very, very scary executive orders that and what they can do. It's very scary. So anyway, I believe she's going to pass laws that basically make if you want a vitamin C, if you want, many things that we take for granted. We just go down to the store and we go, oh, I can get a vitamin C, I can get vitamin D, A, whatever, B, and I can get such and such vitamin, or I can get such and such supplement. And it makes me good. You're actually going to have to go to probably a doctor, and you're going to have to prove to them that you really need that, or that it works. And they're probably going to be more apt to move into pharmaceutical because it's more expensive to get into supplements than it is in pharmaceutical. If you do your research on how much pharmaceuticals, how much markup there is, people will be absolutely blown away. Up to 1,000% markup. 1,000, not 10%, not 100%, not 500%, 1,000% plus when they're doing their synthetic. And everything that's pharmaceutical, almost everything I should say, is synthetic. So you're having something synthetic, man-made, going into your body. And yes, there's things, again, I'm not coming against every pharmaceutical because there's some that help. But if all the pharmaceuticals were so good, why is there so many lawsuits out there? They basically say, if you took Prilosec, you might want to call us, and you're the attorney so-and-so and so-and-so, because you could be a part of a big sum of money. And they're doing this all the time because if you take Prilosec, it will shut down your kidneys, it will do this, da-da-da-da, and they give a whole list of what's going on. Here's a question. Why? Why was this not caught by the FDA? Because it is FDA approved. Every drug that you're taking, if you're taking a pharmaceutical, is FDA approved. It has to be legally. So I think things are going to change when Hillary gets in there, and I think she's going to change the laws. And we possibly, I hope this never comes to pass, I almost hate speaking it, we possibly might see supplements go away. In other words, things that are plant-based, that are here to help us, that God put on this earth. And if you go to Genesis, you'll find out herbs were created before man. So you'll find that if this is taken out to where it's illegal to have certain things, it's illegal to, get supplements at all, and they want you on pharmaceuticals because they want the slow death. I think this is where we're going to see Hillary. She's already clearly said Monsanto is a great thing. She's going to help Monsanto. In fact, one of Monsanto's people is working for her campaign. So that tells you her ties. She has lots and lots of money because Monsanto has been backing her back pocket. And of course, the uranium one and a few decisions for Russia and uranium is in her other pocket. It gives her a pretty good sized butt.
Well, question. Between uranium, the uranium deal, Benghazi, Monsanto, and geez, a ton of other things, how on earth do you think Hillary actually made it to where she's at right now, to the possibility that here we could be looking at her as our next president?
That's a great question. And I think it's a one-word deal: corruption. You're looking at, and this is something I've said many times in different radio programs. If you look at the days that Bill Clinton was in office, okay, if you remember and go back those years, Hillary was very busy at that time. And what was she toting? She was toting health care. And what happened is the people were too strong. They said, no, we got these HMOs, they're beautiful things, and everything, the system was running beautiful. And they said, we don't need this. There was two things Hillary was after. She was after health care, and she was after the kids. She wanted the kids. She was so big on getting the kids educated her way get them brainwashed her way. And she was big on, oh, that looks like that parent is not being a good parent, and the government will take them away immediately. And it's a great way. I call it kid snatching. And that's what they wanted to do. So she was big on this. And so this whole Obamacare is really, it's a heist. It's funny because it was never Obamacare. It was always Hillary Care. Hillary started this. Now, is Hillary the one that actually thought this up? Probably not. Probably some global elite, with some big pharmaceutical companies, blah, blah, blah. And they said, how can we make this better? How can we make more money? How can we do this? And so I think this is how it was. And Hillary was the perfect person. She had a lot of tenacity. She went after it. And Bill Clinton, we can say he's a dummy, but he's not a dummy. He just plays dummy. He's a sharp, sharp guy. And so he just plays the part. And so isn't that kind of funny? He's going to be the new first lady. So,
oh, geez. I never really thought about that. But you want to hear something funny? Way back when Clinton was president, I don't know what is, should I say Bill Clinton, because now we got two Clintons. So way back when, I had a thought, and I'm sure a lot of people did, that one day Hillary could very well be president.
Yeah.
And now here it's happening. And like you said, it's sickening. So my question for you would be, what can people do? If she does indeed, do this to the healthcare system and all this other stuff, and we know she's pro Monsanto because they're backing her and supporting her. What can we do?
Well, there's a couple things. There's 2 or 3 things. We'll start with Hillary. First of all, and this is going to sound crazy. Some people go, oh, that's not going to work, but it actually will. We need to really push our energy to say no, and that is going to be a very strong issue because the corruption is so huge. It's that huge that unless there is some energy change, something big that's going to happen. I don't mean big like the martial law that's going all over the internet and, the doomsday and here's the end of the world. And, I don't get into a lot of that. I do not believe the world's going to end. I believe the world's going to change, but we can help change it. Our prayers are heard. And I believe that we can change the energy pattern and if anything, at least jack her up. So that's the first thing is definitely prayer and meditation and obviously voting for, our own, whoever else. I mean, I heard today, you're going to like this, Lynn. This is very funny. Guess who's running for president?
Charlie Brown?
No, Alice Cooper.
Oh. What?
Yes, Alice Cooper. I heard it today.
You're joking.
I am not joking. Alice Cooper is running for president. And you know what? I told just a couple people.
Is he related to Arnold Schwarzenegger or something?
I don't know. But here's the scary thing. And he's going on a wild card. That's what he calls it. And he's making like lots of jokes, but the rumor has it he really is going to run for president. Now, here's the interesting thing. If he does, I'm curious to see how many votes he would get because he's not saying, I'll do this for my country. I'll do it. He's just doing rock and roll stuff. I'll have, make sure the AC/DC gets back together. I'll make sure that, all these kind of funny things that have to do with rock and roll. But it will be interesting to see if he really does and how many votes he gets. It would be very interesting because I don't know how many times you've heard this lately, but I have heard a lot of people say, I don't want to even vote because I would never vote for Hillary, and I don't think Trump's that good because I think he's a wolf in sheep's clothing. And I honestly get that feeling myself. I think the difference between Trump and because they're all wearing the same shirts now. I think the difference between Hillary and Trump is Trump will have a little more time, and they might make him look good for a little while, but when he didn't pit Newt Gingrich, and not that Newt's the greatest guy in the world, but he's a sharp guy, I was kind of like, okay, here we go. It's another sellout. So it's not that I'm for Trump. I just think Trump will get a little more time before everything goes awry. Hillary gets into office, it's going to happen. By spring we'll be upside down. It's going to be that.
Do you remember a few years ago when they had that virtual reality image of Michael Jackson performing, and all these people, like thousands of people, went to see him performing, but it wasn't really him because he's dead. It was his image, and it looked very realistic. Do you remember that?
I don't, but very interesting thoughts.
Yeah, it was like, the Project Bluebeam stuff. Here they had
Yes,
Michael
yes.
Jackson. It looked so real, you could not tell that's what it was. I'm thinking that I'm not surprised or wouldn't be surprised if they have like a virtual reality image of Michael Jackson run for president and that he would win, at this point. That wouldn't surprise me.
No,
You're
no.
telling me Alice Cooper. I mean, Alice Cooper, actually, the fact that Hillary Clinton is running and stands a very good chance of getting elected is almost more shocking than Alice Cooper, to
Oh
be
yeah,
honest.
yeah, it is. And quite honestly, I'd probably vote for Alice Cooper over Hillary Clinton. So- and he doesn't. I don't think business wise. I don't think he knows anything. So that's the scary thing. Is when when we look at the people, and I talk to people my age, and I say, in your lifetime, have you ever seen anything so screwed up when it comes to politics? And they all shake their head. No, I've never seen this. This is absolutely over the top. And you just kind of go, and this is why, and again, part two, if Hillary wins, what do we do? Well, obviously we pray, we meditate, we vote accordingly. But another thing we need to do, and this is not just about the company, but you might want to get some supplements and get them stored away a little bit. And the reason I say that, if I'm possibly right, then you're not going to get these supplements. And if I'm wrong, then you're stocked up. You're good to go. It doesn't matter. You don't have to buy them for a while. So, and I've noticed that too with the company. I've seen some of people are stocking up and they're getting smart. I mean, because there's food companies and there's all these different things, but nobody thinks twice because that you have a choice. You could be on a pharmaceutical, and I've even heard rumors, and I don't want to put too much into a rumor, but they're drugging people, especially people in military, what have you. They're drugging people, and giving them overdoses. They're not dying or anything, but they're just they can't even make up their own decisions. They're so drugged. And
I worked in the healthcare industry for years in nursing homes, and I also worked in rehab centers. And I saw it firsthand, the amount of pills that these elderly people would take. It was ridiculous. They had like tons of them. A pill for this
yeah,
and a pill for that, and just keeping these people all drugged up. And I don't even know why personally that doctors prescribe all this garbage for high blood pressure, because I have low blood pressure naturally. And
hmm
if I take a garlic supplement or olive leaf extract or something like that, oh my
yeah,
gosh, it greatly reduces my blood pressure to where I have to be really careful with it since I have low blood pressure.
sure,
So I don't know why
right.
people need all this stuff when they could just take some natural things and feel better.
Well, and this is the thing is, and I've said this many times, I go after diseases, and my supplement company will not be something where we have every vitamin that is put out there, because then I'm just like everybody else. But I'm trying to formulate things for certain diseases. I'm trying to get things out there that you can't just go into, a vitamin store and get readily available. I mean, I'm not saying they don't carry it. I'm just saying that I try very hard to get things that are kind of out there that are very good for you, non-GMO, organic, and no fillers. And fillers are important to understand because a lot of us might be gluten intolerant. Just so you know, a lot of the supplement companies, and this is sad too, and you wonder if they're crossing lines with the pharmaceuticals, but a lot of the supplement companies are putting fillers inside. They're putting rice flour, they're putting wheat flour inside the actual pills. So if you're gluten
Oh
intolerant,
yeah, and I'm gluten intolerant, and I have allergies to products like corn and stuff, and a
yeah,
lot of pharmaceutical companies put corn product like corn powders and stuff,
yep.
inside of their pills.
Health in America is becoming a top priority. Or maybe I should say, good health in the world is becoming a top priority. Maintaining a healthy body can be challenging. How about letting Life Change Tea help you? Our tea you make, you drink, and you benefit. Our unique blend of 8 different herbs helps you maintain good digestion, a healthy colon, and detoxes harmful toxins and parasites out of your body. And you know what? It tastes great! If you're wanting a change, a life change when it comes to health, log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Or you can call us at 928-308-0408. That's 928-308-0408. When you log on to our mobile-friendly website, you can read all the numerous testimonies of how Life Change Tea has helped so many people. We carry many, many beneficial products that help your health and keep you on track. Getthetea.com. Kind of gets in your head, doesn't it? Getthetea.com.
And this is something that, like I came out not too long ago, and we have pine bark extract, and the health benefits are over the top with it. It's something that boosts kidney function. It takes care of hemorrhoids, diabetic retinopathy. So if you're diabetic and your eyes are, you're hurting with your eyes, this is something that starts working for you. Reduces inflammation, helps with arthritis, stimulates the immune system, which is huge for diabetics as well. And great for allergies. Yay! So, and this is
What's the name of it again?
It's called pine bark extract. Pine bark,
because I think people, especially if Hillary gets elected, you mentioned hemorrhoids, I think people are really going to need a lot of that, and they should definitely stock up on that.
Yes, and there's so many, our products that we carry really target, and we put all the information, and even when people like order something, we try very hard to make sure they get at least a flyer that basically tells them what they're taking, how much it is, what it is, so that they don't just buy something. I think there's so many companies, they just want to sell you, here, buy, and it's like I can tell you the company Get the Tea is not like that. Yes, we're about a sale, but we're about you, and because people don't realize, and I got into this company based on being sick, and I did not want to go down the pharmaceutical trade. I would probably be either dead or, half zombie right now. And we don't realize how many zombies there are because they're taking these drugs. And most people, I watch the fear in the people's faces. They'll be on a high blood pressure, cholesterol pill. Statin drugs are scary. And they'll be like, well, what do we do? Well, go to the website, Get the Tea, read up, and there's stuff that will change your cholesterol, your triglycerides, your blood pressure, your people with glucose problems. It goes all over. Kidney functions. Our body heals. Are you ready for this? Our body heals itself. It does. So all the supplements doing is kind of like giving it a kicker. That's really all it's about. It's not about these products they're the healers. They're just feeding your body to heal. And this goes back with the colostrum. This goes back with the gastrodefense, which has a probiotic inside of it. So, these are things so that our bodies heal. We don't realize that pharmaceuticals will put holes in your stomach. And we go, what? What? Yeah, that's right. So the only thing that will fill and help heal your stomach is colostrum. And so, and it is organic. It is from organic cows. So this is something where I love healing people. And, so many times you get to read the emails where people are saying, thank you so much for the products that you have and helping us get to where we need to get, because this is great. This is great. And we have people calling all the time saying, hey, can you help me? Because I don't want to take these drugs anymore. And it's like, well, we're not doctors, but if you're looking for an alternative, here's a way to go. And they go that way, and it's exciting. It's we've even heard people cry because they're so happy about what's going on, and that makes me happy. That makes me want to get up in the morning.
Well, sure, yeah. Especially that's moving. When people get that emotional over it, and I know myself. I use your tea and the colostrum and a few other things. Whenever you send it out to me, any of your products, like you said, you always have a flyer in there that tells me what I'm taking. and it has helped me so much. The tea is something I encourage everyone to get. It cleans you out.
Yes.
It gets all the junk out. It's awesome. It'll just totally just clean everything out of your system and make you feel good.
Well, the backbone of the company is the tea. That's why it's called Get the Tea. And people say, "Oh, I don't like tea." Don't get this tea thing in your head. Get the herb thing in your head, because again, Genesis, herbs were created before man. So there's 8 different herbs in this tea. And what these herbs do, I call them little warriors. They go into your body and they get rid of everything that's garbage and gross. So let's say you take a vitamin C or you take a vitamin D or whatever you're taking, okay, that's a supplement. It will not remove that, okay, but it will remove all the garbage around that. So it will leave all the good stuff and take all the bad stuff. This is a beautiful thing. I call it a God thing, because no one can explain it, but that's what it does. So also understand that the tea is going to make you go to the bathroom. And people go, "Oh, I don't like to go to the bathroom." It's like, well, then how do you expect to get rid of all the toxins? And every once in a while we get a customer and they're just angry about something, because unfortunately the post office fails us much. And they'll be like, "I didn't get my product around," and then just screaming and yelling. And we just, okay, it's all right. We'll get you your product. You will? You'll get us? Really? Yeah. Oh, okay. I guess I don't have to yell. I feel like saying, well, that's toxins right there. So you got to get rid of it. So I always say, people that are upset, they really need the tea.
Well, a quick question for you, if you don't mind, on the tea. I have one of my subscribers on who also follows me on Facebook, and she had messaged me and she was curious, and I didn't know how to answer the question. She had asked, for some reason, she was concerned about potassium levels with going, when she goes to the bathroom all the time. Is it going to deplete her potassium and cause her electrolytes to be off?
I would say that's really good question. We probably could take a little more potassium. I don't think the tea is going to affect it all that much, but there's nothing wrong with putting potassium in. So, we're much like plants. Plants have to have potassium. So it's good for us to have a supplement to take it, but you don't have to take it all the time. But I would take it once in a while, especially if you're really drinking the tea heavily. Then I would say yes, have a supplement once in a while just to make sure you're good to go. But as a whole, just drinking the tea, I take quite a few supplements myself. So yes, potassium is in there, but it's not because, oh my gosh, I'm drinking the tea and I need the potassium. So if that kind of answers your question.
Yeah, just in case she was listening, or, so I can go to her and answer the question. You can obviously tell her to listen to our program here. It was a question I didn't know how to answer. I didn't know if there was potassium in your product that helps replenish that, or, so I really appreciate you answering that.
Yeah, no, just take a potassium supplement. Usually another one too that we get deficient on, it's not the tea's issue, it's our issues. I mean, we are, have been depleted of a lot of things. But magnesium is another one sometimes that we're very deficient. For those of you that are out there and you're a diabetic, something for you to know, and we've got B12 coming, by the way. I'm going to talk about B12 a little bit. But B12, sometimes if you are a diabetic and you're taking the metformin, you're type 2, take metformin, sometimes you can be B12 deficient, jack you up a little bit, so you might want to take some B12. But and some people, they can't come off of metformin right now, and that's okay, but you can lessen it. And, again, consult your doctor if you need to. But we have some great products like Gymnema. We have some cinnamon, and these are all, in fact, Gymnema, the Hindi name for it is sugar destroyer. So this is something we have that literally you can take Gymnema with your food, and it will knock down your blood sugars. And so it's really a great product, and it is all plant-based. It's a plant out of India and Africa. Our moringa is wonderful for stabilizing blood, and gosh, the moringa does so many things. I love the moringa, and it's a moringa tree that's in India and also in Africa. It increases the natural.
If you already get low blood sugar, you said the moringa also cleanses the blood. Can you take moringa safely? Yes. Okay.
Yes, moringa is not going to drop your blood sugars majorly. It's going to do more of a balancing. So moringa is a wonderful thing. It defenses of the body, increases that, provides nourishment to the eyes and the brain, promotes metabolism, bioavailable ingredients, promotes cell structure, really big, important. Normal functioning of the liver and the kidney. Now, this is a huge thing because the tea is really good for the kidneys as well. And what it will do is help rebuild your kidneys. So again, supplements are not the healer. What the healer is the body's already set to heal. The supplements are just helping get rid of toxins, and the supplements are saying, here's a little food. It's much like feeding a plant. The plant does its own growing. We don't grow the plant. But when we feed the plant food, and most people just water plant, and this is why their plants are a little deficient, but you feed the plant, and this is why you get a very healthy plant. So if you feed the body, and I'm not talking about Twinkies and Oreos, but if you feed the body, then you're going to change your body. You're going to feel better. You're going to have more energy, and we can go on and on and on. So if you look at the tea gets rid of all the garbage. So let's just say you have really bad water. It helps get rid of some of the metals in the water. It helps get rid of some of the fluoride. It helps get rid of some of the toxins. And so this is a great thing for the tea because, and I would really recommend, a lot of people, we should do a show on water sometime, Lynn, but water, if you guys are into bottled water, I would really, again, guide you away from bottled water because bottled water is not pure in any way, shape, or form. Even the best of bottled waters are not good for you. And that's a scary thing. You're better off getting a filter, a very, very, very good filter. Then you can have all the water you want. You can carry it around and you can, fill up your own bottles or whatever you have, and you're good to go.
Unless you're like me and you have this terrible well water that my well water, actually, I buy those, I was buying those water filters pure. Yeah. And I even have a whole house water filter system. And the filters get clogged up like within the pure filters. I used 4 in a period of 2 weeks. Wow. Not kidding. It would get clogged up and start trickling out. Yeah. Because it's some bad well water. I mean, it's got stuff.
You need to talk. We need to get you on a really good filter. So that way you have good water. But water's really important. And, when you talk about water and then the air is obviously jacked up. So we're breathing in this air. We're breathing in heavy metals. It goes into our body. Our body's filtering all this stuff. And so all these toxins end up in our body. And it's like, how do you get them out? A pharmaceutical? Wrong answer. So this is where I love the tea. And again, the tea is the backbone. So don't get tea like black tea in your mind and this, it's harsh tasting stuff, because it's not like that. The tea is a wonderful product. It tastes smooth and good. And I've got probably in the next month and a half, I'm going to have something really special coming around the corner that I'll be able to share with your people. But the tea is a wonderful product and it's smooth. I get to where, and I've even had many people agree with me, but I get to where I crave it. Like if I go away and we have D365, which is like tea in a pill. So if you go, I don't want to make tea and I don't like tea, blah, blah, blah. D365 does the same thing. Sometimes it's not as strong and sometimes it's stronger depending on your body. But so when I travel, I'll take a D365. But what's interesting is I'll come back and I crave the tea. I'm like, oh, I got to have some tea. In fact, I'm thinking about it right now. I'm like, I got to have some tea. So it's just, it's really that good.
I'm kind of thirsty myself, to be honest. So you're making it sound good to me.
Yeah, just put a little ice in there and yeehaw, it's all good.
Squeeze some lime. Put some lime in the coconut.
Yeah. Put the lime in the coconut. Yeah, absolutely. And so it's really great. And here's the thing. Now get back on track here. So all these products, my company, somebody else's company, just make sure, that you get organic and you get non-GMO. And, that's really important. It's really important. And a lot of the companies are kind of getting crazy with their pricing. And I just kind of go, wow, I don't like doing that. So, but here's the thing. You might want to have a little extra of whatever you need. And because if, and I hope this is never to come to pass, but if Hillary wins, and it won't be by a win, but if Hillary is put in place, we'll put it that way, that's a better way to say it. If Hillary is put in place, you will probably see the change in the supplement companies, including this one. And so to me, if it's going to get that dark, and it may, because it's got to get dark before the light shines. If it's going to get that dark, then I think the supplement companies, their days are numbered, because Monsanto will make sure of this. The pharmaceuticals will make sure of this. And she is buddies with pharmaceuticals, where she's buddies with Monsanto. And, in uranium, I mean, oh my God, Russia. I mean, and think back, Lynn, when we go back to Bill Clinton and we go back to Hillary, there are so many things that went on during the presidency of Bill Clinton. I mean, opium runs, and he was doing drug running. They didn't get him for that. Vince Foster was going to, basically share what really happened. And of course, he, supposedly had a suicide, which they can't even prove that, because the angle that he was laying down when he was dead couldn't even work. So poor Vince Foster died, and the Clintons are murderers. They are murderers. Benghazi, look at there. I mean, this is something that people don't forget. So this is something that the Clintons have been dirty for quite some time, and I don't know why, but the Bushes and the Clintons, they're like buddies or something. Because I look at the Clintons and I go, here we had Bill Clinton, now we're going to have Hillary Clinton. We had Bush, old man Bush, and then we had his son, and it's like, what is this? How come is this all there is? Is these two families?
I swear that I'm going to be really, really surprised if when Hillary Clinton becomes president, if somebody brings forth a blue skirt on Hillary,
Yeah.
Remember the little Monica Lewinsky, the blue skirt.
Oh, right. Yeah, Monica. And see, that's the thing is everybody says, okay, everybody's watching the X-rated videos of Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky. That was all planned, because what was really happening in the background is all of our technology for our military was being shipped over to China. So China was getting all of our weapon warfare and everything like that. And it was kind of like, did you do that? Don't think so. No, I was having an affair.
Yeah. Do people really think that these people are that stupid that they're not going to be more careful? Like Bill Clinton isn't going to be more careful. I mean, it's obvious that it was intentional, and that all that stuff was staged.
Absolutely, it was staged, and because people. I mean, think about also. I think during some of that same time, we were watching O.J. Simpson as he got away with murder. So you just go, oh my God. I mean, there's always, and this is where I look at the media, because I say, okay, what is happening? So right now, what are we watching? We're watching police officers being shot. We're watching the crowds going wild, but it's really not the crowds. It really isn't. It's really more the media going wild. And so I see.
Well, don't forget the latest McDonald's incident. Did you hear about that?
No. What's the latest McDonald's incident? Do I not want to hear this?
You probably might not want to hear it. It was the Munich killer.
Oh, yeah, I did hear about the Munich thing. Yes. Killed.
Yes.
How many people died on that one? 8?
The last time I looked, there was 9 victims, but I'm sure it's up. That was way earlier today. But the last question posed was, did the Munich killer lure children to their deaths on Facebook? Police probe fake ad for free food at massacre McDonald's, where Iranian, 18 years old, killed the first of his 9 victims before turning the gun on himself. So it said a number of people have been killed and another 21 people injured. That was the last I had read.
Well,
don't forget about that.
I call that's the MK world, and this again goes back to staged MK world. And those that don't know about MK, you want to look that up. But MK Ultra, and you can always tell an MK Ultra anytime that you have a shooting and the guy shoots himself afterwards. That is totally MK Ultra. They're triggered to do that.
Oh yes, exactly.
So they go shoot everybody, then because dead men don't talk, so they go and they shoot themselves. And usually, if they're caught, and I always find this interesting, if they're caught before they shoot themselves, and this has been done before, then what you'll find is they usually they'll be sentenced to death, and it'll be immediate death. It'll be immediate. Oklahoma City bombing, Timothy McVeigh. Okay, he should have been on death row for years and years and years and years. Was he on death row for years and years? No. He's done. He's gone. And why? Because he didn't get to kill himself first. And they're always, if you look at most of the time, they're always a background in the military. So they're either a background in military or Lockheed Martin or some kind of government, GE, what have you. They're always a connection.
Or they're yelling Allahu Akbar.
Yep. And this is not just American. This is also over in England and everything else. MI6, they do the same stuff. So this is when you're watching the shootings, if there is a immediately he wants to kill himself, and he does, you just know that's MK. And this again is all staged for quite a few reasons. Number one, they're doing something behind her back, so they want us. It's kind of like Bill Clinton. We watch the X-rated video with Monica Lewinsky, and what are they doing? They do it something big behind her back. But it's the same thing going on, and so we don't focus on what else is going on in the world. And this is going to get worse and worse and worse because really they want to take away their guns. Faster they take away our guns, the quicker they get to take over and do what they want to do worldwide.
Well, we are about out of time, Ronnie, and I just wanted you to share. I understand, and you mentioned it on our last show, that you have a YouTube channel, and I want to mention your website again. I can say that right now, getthetea.com. But can you tell the listeners briefly about your YouTube channel?
Yeah, my YouTube channel, it's infancy stage, but it's basically called Health Matters Now. And you can go to Health Matters Now, and it's little health tips, very short, very quick, and kind of teach you and educate you on what's going on with the healthcare issue and what's also going on with product reviews and what, just so you can learn. And so there's, 2 or 3 a week. And it's kind of cool. It's starting to catch on, and people really like it because you don't have a lot of time to listen, and so they get on there and they learn about something. They go, oh, I might use that, or I might get that. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, and that's good that you have started something like that. I think it's awesome. And I think it's going to help people a lot. Just like getthetea.com, if you go and check it out and check out the products, particularly the tea, because that's his number one best selling product. And it works. All of his products I've tried work. But I just encourage everybody, go to getthetea.com and check it out and try some of the products and see what it does for you. And then, of course, when it does work, because I know it will, and I know that you're going to feel better, please write to Ronnie, and there is a contact area on his website, and tell him your story. Tell him about the sickness that you had, and that the product that you purchased from his website helped you and made you better. He loves to hear those stories. Right, Ronnie?
Oh, absolutely. Healing is great. And like I said, the body heals itself, but sometimes we just need a little bit of help. We just need something to get us along the way. And so, yes, that's absolutely great. And again, the YouTube is Health Matters Now. Health Matters Now. And those are kind of fun too, because I like to learn what God left behind here on this earth for us to get better. I like to learn that stuff. So that's what I share.
Well, I thank God for you, because you certainly have made me feel better. And I do have people who write to me on Facebook and send me private messages that tell me how much they love your product. So, and I encourage them to write to you as well. Do you have any final thoughts before we end the show?
Yes. Obviously, support Lynn, because she's out there doing the dirty work, and the dirty work is saying, hey, this is what's going on, and I need to share this with you. So you want to be there for her. Also, this is really a time, and I mean it now. I mean, it's not something we need to wait on. We need to pray and meditate on, a change in this country, because if we don't, it's going to get much darker. And and darker means scarier, and we can't lean to fear. We have to lean to faith. So my biggest thing is just be praying strongly and doing the work to get us where we need to go.
Well, thank you so much, Ronnie. And I appreciate everything that you do. And I appreciate that I have found you when I did, because I was feeling really bad. And I appreciate the help you have given to many of my subscribers who purchase your products. And we just all love you and appreciate you. And you're just a really gifted person. You're very nice. And I know you're so humble that you're probably sitting there cringing because I'm saying all those things. But you're just a really genuine person. And that's what I like in people. And you tell it like it is. And I also like that you're not one of those people that's just out to make a buck. I have had people like that, approach me, or I've come across them, and I don't care what they have to offer. I won't have them sponsor me. I have to believe in my person who is sponsoring me. And I believe in what you do. And I just want to say thank you so much. And God bless you for that.
I appreciate it, Lynn. Love you back.
Well, thank you. And God bless you. And until next time, this has been Lynn Liaz with Ronnie McMullen from GetTheTea.com. And be sure, everyone, and go to GetTheTea.com and get the tea.
Get the tea. GetTheTea.com.